block or where your arm should be.
Bloody hot. Bit more on.
Yeah. Out of that again. No, wrong way, wrong way. Towards me.
Been working all day.
Yeah. Break it. No, to your right. So try again.
That way.
No, turn your head that way. Yeah.
Been Sam said all day.
Hi, my name's James Lanham, but on the weekends many people know me as High Octane. I'm a professional wrestler on the local wrestling scene. If I lived in Sydney or Canberra or whatever, I couldn't be a local celebrity like I am with the wrestling here. I walk down the street and every time someone recognises me as High Octane, they want to talk to me about wrestling, when the next show is, what I've been up to.
And then you got him in a hammerlock.
Yeah.
So yeah, that looks much better.
Yeah.
Right through school, he was this wrestling nut. That he loved it beyond an interest. And there was not very often he could put pen to paper in an English classroom and ask to write something creatively if it didn't touch on wrestling, at least in passing. And usually it focused totally on it.
So this is my wrestling collection, the bulk of it anyway. I've been collecting this stuff since I was 11. And the vast majority of this was crammed into my tiny little bedroom at home when I was growing up. So you got everything in here from trading cards to wrestling rings, action figures, DVDs, even some old VHS tapes. I've got programs from every WWE or bigger event that I've ever been to, got some replica belts.
So the next event I have coming up is Western Warfare 4. It's the 4th annual wrestling show I'll run in Cara. So there'll be 9 matches if everything goes to plan. It'll be about roughly 2 to 3 hour event. And we're hoping to get between 150 to 200 people in the crowd. Around town, I deliver letterbox drop flyers. In the lead up to Western Warfare 4, I've probably delivered just over 3,000 flyers. Cara is a small country town in New South Wales, Australia. The common misconception is there isn't a lot to do. But overall, yeah, I don't ever see myself moving from here. I see myself as pretty settled and happy here. Happy just doing what I'm doing.
He's really good to train. He's a nice bloke. He's just a very nice bloke. My training is very North European based. You can see the same in the rugby players from Queensland. A lot of that training has been implemented with James. Breathe through it. Breathe through it, James. Good work. Yes, James. Good. Stretch. Of course, when I sit at his wrestling match and see him coming through the air, and just bang, and oh no, everything is undone, and he's gone for a couple of months and then start over again. It's, I'm impressed.
There's probably a saying that says something like, for every young person that succeeds, there's probably a couple of exhausted parents. And I think that's the case. I think exhaustion has been a part of the picture. But the support of his mum, Christine, and his brother, Richard, has been incredible. It's taken it from a possible to a probable for him.
I think we weren't that keen in the beginning, thinking that, worrying about injuries and stuff like that. But when we saw how it made him happy and it built his confidence in lots of areas, we kind of went along with it and encouraged him, and I'm really proud of what he does.
But this year we've gone all out and we've done a colour program. We're going to sell those in the night for $5. So hopefully they help us recoup a few costs to go towards future shows. The show cost me a little over $2,600. I need another $1,800 to draw even this year from ticket sales and merchandise.
No, you're not going to make money being a wrestler in Australia. A few go to America, But most of the wrestlers that I know would pay you to wrestle. They love it that much.
Wrestling obviously is not a sport in the traditional sense, more entertainment, but it is an incredibly physical activity, so a lot of people think they can just jump in and not have lasting damage. But 2 or 3 training sessions in, that's irreparable damage to the body. I do have a lot of injuries. The most severe at the moment is Schumann's disease, which is a spinal condition. Had concussions. I've got sciatica as a result of last year's Western warfare. I've got scoliosis, I've got arthritis in most of my joints, I've got carpal tunnel, I'm about to have surgery on that. I'm not officially cleared to wrestle. Strict doctor's orders not to, but the pool was too much, so I had to jump back in there.
Like all little boys, he was interested in this and moved on, and interested in something else and moved on. And this started when he was about 12, and he just said, "That's what I'm going to do." And I just said, "Yeah, okay, and we'll move on next week." And we didn't.
No one could tell me that I wasn't going to make it. The young kid from Cara wasn't going to make the WWE. There was just not another option on the table at that point, from when I started at about 16 to when I turned 18. And when I turned 18, sadly, I came down with chronic fatigue syndrome, and that kind of scuppered ever doing that. Totally turned my life upside down, and at that moment I sort of realised that making a full-time living out of wrestling wasn't going to happen. If I was awake 4 or 5 hours a day, that was a good day. I still have it to this day. It's something you never totally recover from.
Chronic fatigue, I suppose, affects everybody, because you've got one person in the family that can't cope with what passes for normal. So everything has to be worked around when he's going to be asleep, when he can be awake. So yeah, you do have to take the windows of opportunity that any illness presents.
Hey guys, got a wrestling show at the Civic Centre tonight.
You guys like pro wrestling? You want to come to the show? No, family friendly.
Pro wrestling at the Civic Centre, not interested? No. Thank you.
No, okay.
You going to the wrestling?
We come out to Cowrie because the general community is really, really welcoming, but wrestling itself has actually helped me open up, join the bigger crowds, and it's been really good.
Met a lot of good friends through wrestling. You know, it's like a team. Like, you go out there and, you know, you have a fight, you build each other, you're entertained, you're putting each other's safety in your own hands.
So in there, I'm a brutal badass. Nikki Nitro does not care about anyone. She will destroy anybody that goes in her way. And I do this for the fans, you know, to make people happy. And that's why I do wrestling.
Every time I walk through that curtain, I feel like a new person. It's just the greatest feeling in the world. Like, it's amazing.
People get involved in wrestling for one reason, and that is they love it. They just love putting on a show. And there's nothing more beautiful than that. James has always believed that if you put your values in place and you don't let them go, everything will come to you eventually. The more effort and the more guts that you show, the faster they might come. But it is about your values as a person. You don't have to be a conformer. You can be the person who likes pro wrestling.